Hello guys, today we're going to be working on this top and bottom GE refrigerator. The complaint is that it's not cooling properly, it's not keeping up with the temperature, and sometimes the milk and other products go bad on the refrigerator compartment and the things on the freezer takes forever to freeze up. Welcome to DIY Repair Now. Read all the warnings, and during this video you will see one or more of these icons to help you do this repair safe. The first thing we're going to do is disconnect the refrigerator to avoid electric shock. And now we're going to go ahead and remove the back panel to get access to the compressor and the fan. Now you can see the fan is not spinning and it's still plugged in for now. And this coils was very filthy and the compressor was extremely hot. I'm going to put some pictures here that way you guys can see how the coils was. I already have cleaned it up a little bit. But when I first came and checked the first time, they were like you see in the pictures. Now we're going to go ahead and disconnect the refrigerator. And we're going to go ahead and start removing the fan. This is the first time I work in this model. And I have no idea how this fan comes out. Hopefully it's a little easier than the others that I have worked on. But it looks like we just have to remove the screw that I removed a little while ago, and we can just wiggle it out. It has some male to female connections in the bottom, and that's what holds the fan on the bottom, which I find that very good because sometimes it brings screws that are not accessible. Okay, here we have the back cover and the harness that provides power to the fan, the condenser fan motor. Now so far everything looks like is the fan motor, but we're going to find out if we have power in this harness, and we will go from there. Now I just disconnect the harness that provides power to the fan. The wire goes through inside of the coils all the way to the fan, but I'll show you more of that in a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and remove this to see if we can have access to this back side of the coils. Now as you can see, I removed 2 more screws, but I figured out that there's one more screw on the top. As you see, I can see through there, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to go through inside of the coils, or you can just wire it outside. Now there's a screw on the top, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. As you see, there's a screw on the top there that is kind of hard to get it. Now you need to have a 5/16. It should be a 5/16 or a 1/4 screw, and just grab like an angle tool. I have this angle. This is like a 45 angle, but they got also a 90 degrees angle to be able to get those screws, or just use any kind of ratchet that is 5/16 or 1/4. At this point, I'm not going to go through there. As you see, I've just cut the wires for the fan motor because I already have checked. I didn't got that on video, but I checked and we have power going into the fan, but the fan is not working at all. Now this is a close-up hermetic, they call it, because you cannot access to the wiring and the fan because it's closed all the way around with plastic. Now as you see, it came out very easy. I thought it was gonna be hard to remove it. Now we remove the blade. Make sure we clean everything up before we put everything back together and do a preventive maintenance on this fan as well, or the housing, because we're going to be installing a new fan. Now we're going to go ahead and remove these clamps to be able to loosen up or remove the old fan motor. As you see, is a female to male connection, and once you release those tabs, the back part just fell off. Now we remove the fan from the housing, and here is the new part. You can find this part in the description of this video. And this is how we're gonna put the new fan motor. And now, as you can see, I couldn't get to the OEM part. I couldn't find the original part, so I'm gonna go ahead and use an aftermarket. Now we're gonna have to do some modifications here, and on the link on this video I'm gonna go ahead and put the part number for these two fans if you decided to do it with a OEM, which that's what I recommend, or you can do it with an aftermarket. Now, like I said, we're gonna have to do some modifications here because the tip of this new fan that I'm putting, which is universal aftermarket, is a little thicker than the old one. You can see the fan side by side, and you're gonna be able to use the blade. You're gonna have to do some modifications. So as you see, the good thing is that this is a high voltage fan motor, so it's not like one of those electronic ones. There are DC voltage, and then you're not going to be able to put in aftermarket 110 volts fan motor. Now just clean up a little bit around while you worked on it, and as you can see, that hole on the top, that's where the cables came in, but I'm not going to go through there on this video because I would have to remove that screw on the top, and that will complicate my life a little bit there. Now this is the modification that I'm telling you about. I'm gonna go ahead and rubber this fan around with a wet towel, and I'm gonna go ahead and heat up the tip of the fan. That way I can basically melt it down on the new blade. Once you get that tip very hot, just put the fan where it goes, and you put the blade on top. See, because the other tip of the fan was very thin and this one is thicker. Just push it down and just make sure you take a look. Just take pictures before you remove anything and just see how the other one was, and then push it down until you sit it in place. Now, like I say, take pictures, because if you push it down too more, it's not going to work properly, or if you leave this blade out too much, it's not going to work properly. And also make sure it's even, because since you're melting it down on the tip, it can go sideways as well, and it's going to be wobbling. So just a couple of advices before you do the melted down blade thing. Now once you sit it in place, just put this other part of the housing, which it just sits in place. I want to apologize for my voice. Been sick for a couple of days now, you know, with this weather, so just trying to do the best I can. And as you can see, I sit it in place, but it didn't sit right, so I'm just, you know, loosening it up again and correcting, make sure it goes exactly where it needs to be to secure the back side of the fan. And once you hear a clip, that's when everything is secure in place. I was very grateful that I didn't have to do too much modifications for this fan motor, because I couldn't get the OEM part. Nobody had it in stock, but hopefully when I put the links on this video, you might be able to get the OEM fan and you don't have to do all these modifications. However, like I said, I didn't have to do too much because it was basically the same size and everything sits in place. You might don't run on the same lug, so my suggestion would be get the OEM. That way is, you know, put it in place and do the connections right. Now, since I didn't use this back area, I'm just gonna put the screws that I have removed earlier. However, if you want to remove the screw on the top and want to do the wiring through the condenser coils, you can do that as well. Okay, as you see, I'm gonna go ahead and do the wiring now. And in this part, I made a couple mistakes, but I'm gonna leave them here in the video because I don't want you guys to think that this always gonna be easy, you might run in some complications. And if I run in some complications, I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. And I'm gonna go ahead and install these terminals. I happen to have these terminals in stock, but if you don't have terminals, just go ahead and get pieces of wires that you have laid down around the house and just connect those wires with some wire nuts. As you see, I kind of bent the terminals on the fan motor, and that was my mistake. Those terminals, you're not supposed to bend them because they will break easy. However, I bend them there and they getting weak. So if you bend them, they will break. So as you see right there, I was not supposed to do that. Don't do that. Just if you're short on wire, go ahead and add wire to your work, but don't bend those terminals on the fan motor, and always be kind of gentle with it because they will break easy. Keep in mind that this is a good part, but it's an aftermarket, so it's not gonna be as strong or better than the OEM. As you saw right there, I kind of pull the wire and basically break that terminal. Now I'm gonna have to fix this issue. Now if you don't wanna see this part of the video, just forward it and then avoid all this part. But like I said, I'm gonna leave this part of the video because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. So if you don't want to make the same mistake and you're working with this aftermarket fan motor, go ahead and keep watching. What I do next is improvise and try to secure this wire nut. Thank God the terminal break, but the wire was still attached to the terminal. So I melted down the plastic around, and I had something there that I can melt it to it. And I know it looks sloppy, but at this point, I'm just trying to finish the job and make sure it's gonna work. As long as the cable that goes attached to the terminal on the fan motor is not broken, it should work. You just have to secure those wires correctly. Now I'm just setting the fan motor in place and just trying to get this wire. Now I gotta be honest with you, I don't have any extra wire, but I would rather to do this wire through inside of the those coils. However, what I'm trying to do here now is trying to get this going, make sure it's gonna work, and probably later I'm gonna go ahead and redo this wiring because at this point it was very late and I want to get this thing going. So once you got it in place, just go ahead and secure the fan the way it was. This one, it only has one screw. Now these screws are going into those coils, so it's very easy to install them, but make sure you don't drill in the actual coils because you're going to create a leak. Now once you got it in place, just make sure it's spinning, and that'll be it for this repair. Alright guys, if this video helped you in any way, you can show us appreciation by giving us a tip using the following options that you see on the screen. If you cannot provide with a tip, is another way to support this channel by just dropping off a comment in the comment section down below. Subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the bell to receive notifications. Thanks for watching.